team-based system, and it obviously is encouraging me to lean into the system, but then I'm not quite sure how I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So I'll say I like that might be something when you're explaining, like, you know, this is where I'm starting. I think it is neat. I can see the aspiration of why I want to earn these. I had no really clue how I was doing any of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think the theme is compelling. I don't know if I fully understand enough of what the game is, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, and maybe that's just something a bit more about the I guess, you know, what is almost like our scenario. So if like you were going to say right now, our intro scenario, what is it?
Yeah, so you guys all got an invite from an eccentric multimillionaire, Lyle Elliott, who occasionally throws parties for strangers to meet up at his mansion. You guys are all driven to this place, and at some point during the night of partying, someone ends up dead, and it is up to the group of you, knowing there is a killer somewhere in the house, to figure out who did it and deal with them before they deal with you.
I love this theme. I think it's really cool. I think when you do a pitch in the future, like what Erica had said, like how you increase the dots would have been helpful.
Yeah.
I don't really come from an RPG background, so like having goals is really helpful. I like that it's a one shot, that it's not like a continuous like month-long campaign. Because who has time for that? It seems really fun.
Cool.
I play D&D every week. I have a campaign with the same group of people that has lasted over 4 years. I love the world of RPGs. I love what RPGs endeavor. How do I get people to play this over D&D?
Here would be my suggestion, and it's what I've done, because I play D&D every week as well. One person missing, say, oh, I've got a cool system, fast to teach, we'll play a one-shot of it. I did that once, and every time we've had a player missing, it's what we've done.
Okay. So but tell me, like, how do I convince people that are used to a D20 5e rule set to play this? Like, tell me how I can explain this to them, like so that they're like, yeah, okay, I get it, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to lead with the theme, of course, right? That's what's going to get people into stories like this.
Sure.
Mechanics are important, but mostly it's keeping them out of the way so they aren't distracting from the story. And in part of it is that in this rule book that you've got, the rules for how to play the game, like the actual how mechanics work, is one page front and back.
Okay.
So that's simple.
I find that to be the biggest barrier with other systems is like, they're like, we know how to play D&D.
Yeah.
Like, we just want to play D&D, right?
Yeah.
And the hardest thing is like getting them to try a new system. And so like every time I've tried to introduce the idea of one-shots, when we have people missing, we just end up playing board games. So I would say that the fact that you do have an easy rule set is a good selling point, but it's Wizards of the Coast market world we're just living in.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Awesome. Yeah, I'll be. I have a playtest block on Sunday afternoon. I'll be at Open Gaming all weekend, and you can learn more at moonshinerpg.com. Right?
Is Elijah here? Yeah. Okay. Oh, you're right. That's right. Okay, you're going to be setting up here. Right. Hey, it's not that heavy. Or I'm just really strong. Depends on how you look at it. All right. Do you need more water? No. Okay. Do you need more water? You get. I got it.
A lot of business. Okay.
I'm just trying to make it comfortable. That's all. Strong suit. Dude, property market. I'm not a wizard.
I would love a white.
I am not a wizard. We're not wizards. That's actually more reasonable. Like,
That's more reasonable.
Banana futures are down.
I love it.
We have no banana.
All right, we have the penultimate, that means second to last, person. This is Randall Lee. He's going to be pitching insider fruit trading as he's getting set up here. I just wanted to welcome you all to Unpub 2024. It's really great to see all these brand new faces. It's fantastic. It's a great start to what's going to be a fantastic weekend. Hopefully this kind of gives you a little peek into the window of what Unpub is all about. It's just making games better. All right, so let's all strive towards that. Gives some great feedback. It's been modeled for you, so model forward. All right, Randall, anytime, take it away.
I'm Randall, and I'm here to show you insider fruit trading. Woo! Thank you. It's a market game of supply and demand and hidden information. We are at a cutthroat farmer's market where prices can surge at a drop of a hat. The prices, when fruit goes scarce, the prices go up. Since you are an inside fruit trader, you know when that will happen, and hopefully you, with your cards, you will know when that will happen. You can hoard some of that fruit, like bananas. Futures are going up, as he said. And when the price goes up, you can sell into that market. And you're trying to make the most money, while everyone else is trying to do the same. Turn order matters a lot in this game. So, for example, if Erica decides to buy some bananas before Sen does, she'll get them for cheaper. And if she sells them before he does, she'll make more money. Because the way the market works. Let's see. But if Joe decides to buy some bananas after she sold them, then he'll get them for cheaper than he would have otherwise. So order of operations really matters in this game. So I am playing with the order of operations by letting you insert these cards, these insider information cards, into a timeline. I'm still ironing out some of the details there, but it introduces a lot of player choice for figuring out when the opportune moment to place your insider information, as well as your turn order marker. So it's at the same time as you're inserting your secret information, you are choosing your spot in the turn order. Yeah.
So it's
you
like
got-
we know
Well, you
this is
can't go there.
happening, but we choose to do.
So when we're resolving all of these things,
Like when do you want to
yeah,
affect
yeah,
it?
your turn order gets moved around. So if you decide to go here, you can, or if you can go here as well.
Oh, I see. That's
All right. And then all of this stuff will get resolved. You'll roll some dice to move the markets. You'll either be adding, when you have a plus card, you'll be adding to that market from the compost to the market, or you'll be subtracting from that market.
This is compost or the fields?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
recycling?
Yeah, they're fields now.
So farmers stopped growing, we got it, so that would mean we take the strawberry
Yes.
out?
Yeah. So we're taking like 5. So strawberries is a plus.
Yeah.
So you're adding 5 strawberries.
You always get the
here,
bigger number?
and then you're choosing.
And you lose.
You actually choose.
Oh,
which,
you choose which one, okay.
Oh.
So and then you're subtracting 3 here. So this.
Fruit markets.
Yeah.
So these are the prices of.
Yeah,
This
you
is
love
really
it.
blueberries, but the grapes are over there. Yeah. So this game. Yeah. So I was trying to see if you could make money with insider information. Clearly, you can.
It's illegal.
And
They're not watching us in the fruit trade.
so,
All this money in the banana store.
so a question that arose is: you can make money when the prices go up, but you can also make money. Can you also make money when prices go down?
By buying love.
By buying.
And selling that.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So I have a bunch of playtest sessions on Friday from 5 to 9, Saturday from 10 to 2, another one on Saturday from 5 to 9, and a Sunday from 10 to 2.
I'm gonna be coming by to play this because I might be signing it.
I forgot to mention, whoever has the most money actually is the winner. I don't know what this is.
Capitalism.
Yeah. No, I'm enamored with everything about this game right now. Like, I want to play it and see how everything functions, but like, I'm enamored with this. Like, this is very much like the type of game that I would want to sign. It's unique, it's interesting, it's doing mechanical things that I haven't seen done before. It's playing with fluctuating markets in a really fun way. This seems really, really novel, really, really interesting. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that I ask other people that are like pitching to me and I'm interested in their game. Tell me about another game that inspired this game.
So the resource market is very similar to Power Grid's resource. If you take Power Grid's resource market and you see if there's a game just around the resource part, that's what I ended up doing here. I had a really old version, and then I started using the resource mechanics of Power Grid. There's a little bit more that fits in my current game, but there is no selling to those surges. So
And what do people like most about this game when they play it?
So there's like a little bit of chance. So you have information that other people don't. So there's a little bit of like preparation, and then there's the dice roll, which can produce the thing that you want, but also there's a bit of a luck, like your preparation. What's that? I forgot that quote, but
Luck is like about opportunity.
Yes,
Picking
yes.
up, yeah.
yeah. And so yeah, I think that aspect of the game I think is what attracts people. Also, this game I think internalizes the supply-demand aspect of that curve. And I think it's a bit of a barrier when you don't internalize it, but once you've played through the game, if you haven't, then you don't really play this well, or you get confused. But I think there's a bit of like economics.
Randall, you're saying all the right things.
So I'm really excited to try this because you said supply and demand, hidden info, cutthroat. Also you got the programming. Like all that sounds really cool. And I had a question about like how to change player order, and I like that it's really dependent on like where in the programming that you want to do it. I'm very excited to play it.
I didn't realize it was programming, but yes.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's definitely programming.
I actually
Yeah.
think programming is what makes this interesting. Usually you hear economy game, you're kind of like growing a little bit because what really makes it different. You've already made it funny to start. Like we're like competing over bananas and grapes and strawberries and blueberries as if it's like, I don't know, some like crazy stocks, right? I even said to her, I'm like, we would play this together.
100%. Oh, can I say one more thing? The flavor text on this, like, prohibition laws passed. Grapes normally headed to wineries can no longer be made into alcohol. That's why you have more grapes. Like, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, the one note I actually was thinking when you were speaking, I didn't have questions for you. A lot of people who came up, I was like, I still don't understand how to play your game. I'm sorry. A little, just something. I was like, I just needed to hear that so I understand how the whole experience is gonna work. I could kind of already infer how to play before you started with yours, which is great because it means it's pretty on point for delivering information. Once you were done, I was like, yeah, I totally understand how to play this. I could probably play it right now. And so that's a big part on you for like how you presented it, that I could already shape the full game as we're going. I didn't have to write questions of like, but how do you do this? But yeah, we would totally play this.
Yes, I have sessions, many.
Yeah, I knew that we were all in, all of us. I knew all of us were in when you rolled the dice and we said, oh. Did you guys hear that? Did you hear us say, oh?
Yeah.
Because that was the kicker for me. It's like, oh,
That
we
was
get
the
to
last
choose
question.
Yeah.
where those dice go. And that sold it for me entirely. I already like the granularity that you have in terms of the stock market, because a lot of stock market games just kind of they go up or they go down. These ones like build slowly. you all can't see this, but there's like 5 tracks that you have to pump up before it goes into the next value. And so, thank you, Ed Waddle over here, it gives you time to play with the timeline, it gives you time to use your cards and think, and I really love how you change the player order by saying if you're first in, your player order is going to change quicker, right? That you're not going to, you gain the benefit of being first in the line, but maybe you'll lose your player order, right? So I think that's really cool and innovative in terms of how to change up the game so it's not just the first person or the first player who always stays the first player getting to act all the time, right? So a lot of really, really cool stuff here. And I love how lo-fi your stuff is. We got to see a lot of very nice prototypes, everybody. They were very nice. But this communicates your team entirely without having to get something professionally printed. And to me, as an old school designer, it's my jam. I love it. Good job.
I don't know if everyone can see it. It's like really simplistic iconography, but you can instantly see what's going up and what's going down. And I almost don't need to be told what this means. Right? Just for.
Right, we're gonna move Randall's out of the way, and we're gonna get Elijah in there. I'll be right there.
Oh, they're now, baby. Yeah, seriously.
Right? Oh yeah, I'll play. It's totally my type of game.
That's what I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I'm like if this is good, I will give you a contract.
I mean, you can.
What?
Yeah.
But it's got to be good, right?
Yes. No, it's gotta be
Your
good.
deck.
I also like how your money is named after you.
Yes, the money.
So you're all
No, sure.
That's fine. Sure.
All right, are you ready, Elijah?
Do you guys want to start with that?
All right. Again, this is our last presentation of the night, and then I don't know about you all, but I'm going to go collapse in preparation for tomorrow because, oh my gosh, these days are awesome, but they're very long. So I'm really excited to have Elijah here from South Africa. I think this is the furthest any person has traveled to come to Unpub, which is fantastic. Again, I just wanted to thank our panel here for being a fantastic feedback session here. We just really appreciate you all being here, so just a round of applause for them too. Elijah, take it away.
Good evening, yeah? Good evening, everyone. My name is Elijah John. Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears. I'm going to introduce you today to FinMaster. Imagine a world where families can come together at the dinner table and have positive money conversations. Unfortunately, my co-founder and I didn't grow up in a home that did that. We grew up in homes where money was not spoken positively. This led us to start FinMaster so in the future, every young kid can have the skills and knowledge to make wise financial decisions. And this is what FinMaster is. To be the FinMaster, you have to have the highest net worth. And this happens in 4 different steps. You first have to choose between purchasing 2 different assets. Erica, between these 2, which would you purchase? And starting the game, you started off with 800 Finter bucks. And you can use your Finter bucks to purchase one of the 2 assets available to you.
All right, let's go for the more expensive one.
Cool. You chose
Small business.
Small business is yours. There we go. From there, you then pick up an action card. This then allows you to understand that different market dynamics happen according to different assets. And I think there's a small business one somewhere close by. But anyways, the one I picked up is the Reserve Bank has increased the repo rate, which resulted in higher interest rates on all of your save assets. So any of the save assets on the board, anyone who owns any save assets either gets 50 Finter bucks because they chose the correct asset according to the correct market dynamics. I don't know if anyone has any save assets with them there.
With our cards?
Yeah, with the green ones that save assets.
At farmland.
stock portfolio.
That's a SO asset. No one has this, so nothing happens here. But now you need more cash to actually go and to buy future purchases later on. And this is where the jargon card or the jargon challenge comes in handy. And I'll give this to you. Okay? You have 60 seconds to explain that word to everyone else, and anyone who gets it will get 100 Finter bucks as well as you.
Oh, so I have to explain what a bull market is? Like,
Without saying it, but now you said it.
Oh, it's like when you get more money on top of the money you already got money on top of.
Compounded interest.
Yeah.
There we
All the $10.
So through that, you roll your dice and move up, and you can choose any player token, custom player tokens. If you're one who loves saving, there's a piggy bank for you. Those who enjoy cash, there's an ATM. And those who don't like the bull market but figure out how to make money in a bear market, here's a bear for you. And those who are old school and like to keep money under mattress, there's a bed for you as well. So there's different player tokens for you to move up all the way to the Fin Master end. Once you get there, you get a 300 $50 bonus. You tally up all your assets and your cash, and the one with the highest net worth wins the game. So through gameplay, you're able to have positive conversations. The different cards within the action set, scenarios. These are different effects that happen to different assets. We then have speak cards, where you have to answer a financial question, just explain the story around it. And then we have share, because we also want to create not a very hyper-capitalistic nature, but also understanding that. And the last one is your speak, share, and your scenario cards. Those are the three elements that happen in an action card, and you play over and over until you get to the Fin Master. So, it's time for you to buy assets, take action, master jargon, resist curveballs, which is the last effect I forgot. You then have to. Anita, can you please roll the purple dice for us?
Sure.
7 again, you'll have to pick an action card. If not, your effect will double. And that's a 6. Can you please choose one of the tokens that you.
I like the mattress.
The mattress.
Yeah.
Cool. The mattress is sitting on white, so we go down to the white curveballs, and that's a 6. And can you just read that to everyone?
You sold all the things in your house that you haven't used in years. Well done. Collect $150 from the money stash.
Cool. So you roll the 7 so that you can get $320. And here's your $320 for that.
Oh, the 7 doubles it?
Yeah, 7 doubles it. So now that gets added to your net worth. And that's just basic gameplay of the game. Thank you.
First of all, welcome to America from a Canadian. It's lovely to see you here.
So good.
How's the flight?
Very long, 24
Oh
hours.
my gosh, yeah, that's really long. So, how much of the stuff that we're learning in this game is predictable, controllable, versus random?
Yeah, so there's a mix. So what is controllable is what assets you purchase. You can decide how you want to buy the assets and how you don't want to buy assets. What's predictable is the fact that there are going to be 2 assets that show up every single gameplay, but the action cards and what effect would it be an up or a down, you can't control it, that's quite random. And as well as you play the game, you land on a purple, white, or yellow block, and that creates a personal curveball that affects you. It also randomizes, because it's also based on a card roll, on a roll, dice roll.
So, what is the learning objective for this? We're going to consider this as an educational game, right? So,
correct.
what's the learning objective for the players?
Yeah, so it's 2 ways. 1, it's the financial terminology that sits under the jargon cards, and 2 is just the basic financial understanding. So the different assets that you have here, there's wine collection, retirement annuity, rare coins collection, fixed deposits, and the like. So from an investment perspective, 1, bring an awareness of the different financial assets that exist, and 2, a true understanding of how they're affected. So during the gameplay, you'll see how interest rates affect your assets, because they'll either lose cash or gain cash. You'll see how political dynamics change and stuff. You'll see how a small business acquiring a new business, or someone going viral, the campaign increases the value of your business. You'll see how commodities getting stuck, or a new oil or rare thing getting purchased affects the commodity price, because that's an asset within you. So that gameplay and that understanding, that's where the educational element fits in.
Okay, so I'm just wondering this because is the goal to win the most money or to learn the most stuff?
So, as human beings, we're competitive in nature, so that's where the winning element comes in. Through the gameplay, you're learning. So, you're not coming to play the game intentionally to learning, but as you're playing the game, you're learning. And what we found out is that through the different playtests that we've had, people actually enjoy the jargon element, which is the most learning element that's there. That's one that they seem is the most fun.
Yeah, I just have just a concern as an educator that, if we're teaching people about all of the financial elements, and you might actually lose money, but you're actually learning through doing that, but you're not winning the game. Is that what's the valence of that in terms of how does that feel for the player? Is winning important in this game? Like, is having the most money? I mean, obviously it kind of is in life, but all the stuff that's happening to your money is fairly random. Like whether you know the jargon, whether the dice rolls were good or bad for you, whether the card affects things that you have or not. Is there any control that the player has over their own outcome in terms of the win?
It's the assets that you choose. So
Just the assets that you choose, but then the effects are all random.
Yeah,
So
because that's how it happens in nature, in life. You
Does
choose
it?
an asset, and then you
Does
don't
it?
have control of what happens to the prices when you put stock portfolio.
I mean,
So
I
that's how
mean,
it works.
there is somewhat some of that, right? So there is a little bit of control in terms of I could have sold that, or I could have bought the ones that were more valuable. Or
Oh,
that
so you
kind
can't
of
do
thing.
that. So you can still buy and sell. You can even auction amongst other players as well.
Okay.
So there is that.
So as long as there's some control over the
Yeah.
things I have, so that the choices I have aren't deterministic in the end. Okay.
Yeah, I see potentially in interesting financial literacy games, and you don't often think of financial literacy games as interesting. So there is something here. I think because you are talking about educational learning, there's elements in the game that need to be supporting that learning just a little bit more. The jargon is an interesting round, but if I'm 10, which this says 10 plus, I don't know what compound interest is, but something as simple as putting a quick definition on this is enough that I've now learned the concept and now have to relate to someone else. You've now given me, like, it should be on here,
Yeah.
right? The idea is that because if I can not only learn a concept, but then have to teach it to someone else, I've already learned it much better. That's why I say there's a lot of potential here. You just have to reinforce that learning through your cards a little bit more, because I think you could get people having a lot of fun with this and learning a lot about financial literacy. But again, you gotta make sure you're supporting where that's coming through just that little bit more.
Yeah, I just want to echo what Erica said. I think that there is a lot, like having the definition on the card and not just like in an appendix would be helpful. I love the tokens. I think that's really clever. Are you married to the name?
I don't know.
Okay. Because when I think of Fin Master, I think of something else. So
This is your first game design?
Yeah, we just started in November last year.
Okay. This is modeled after very much like Trivial Pursuit, Monopoly, other mass market games, right? Which in one way says like, oh, those are games that lots of people play and I want lots of people to play this game. There's a reason that there are no new games in that category, because those games exist as like, they exist and they will always exist, but there aren't like other games that are doing things like that that are actually getting popular. And what I think you have is I think you have a really interesting concept and a really awesome mission statement of like helping people get financially literate, which is most of the people in this room, including myself, could do a lot better at. If you gave half those cards to me and were like, do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? I'm probably not even going to get half of them, to be honest with you, right? And I own a business, so it's a thing that I think is like a really cool mission statement. But I think what you want to do is like remove all the extra, like remove all the roll and move, remove all the like do this and then do this and then do this, and like distill it down to like, how can I simply teach people financially literacy? How can I gamify it? And how can I create interesting examples with cards that we might all have, as opposed to trying to put this like Monopoly-esque mass market game on top of it and make it more something of like an accessible trivia kind of card game. But I think that there's still something interesting you can do with like to show how different things interact with each other. But I think that you might want to spend this weekend really talking to other game designers that have like designed games that have basically been able to look at ideas like this and make it like a product, right? Because right now this is a very difficult product to market, and it's a very difficult product to see a successful future for. But I could see a financial literacy card game that has like interesting trivia, interesting examples, and interesting ways that you can see things interact with each other to understand the concepts. Because I think the trivia aspect is great, but I think if you could very simply be like, in order to understand this concept, like see how these cards interact with each other and like create a bunch of like scenarios like that. I think that might be the winning move for this as a product, which is ultimately what you want to create is a successful product.
Thank you, Elijah. Where can we find you this weekend?
On Sunday 10 to 12 and Saturday 6 to 8.
Great, thank you very much. All right, so I just wanted to thank you all for coming out for this this great feedback frenzy. Again, thank you judges for being fantastic feedback providers. Do what they did tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Go out, play games, make them better, have fun, and have a great Unpub, everyone. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you could stick around for like that one.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be great.